It's Saturday morning, and today we want to do this big yearly reset. So, what we have in the menu today is I'm going to go for a run. Then, when I come back, I'm going to take a shower, do my skincare, my hair care. Then, I'm going to do a bit of basic house chores, like I need to make the bed, it's quite messy. I need to fold the laundry, I need to prepare my dinner, stuff like that. Then, I'm going to have a big journaling session. So, I want to write down all my goals for the next year. I'm also going to walk you through and explain why I do my yearly reset in autumn and not in December or January, how it benefits me specifically, and why I think that autumn is a much better time for a yearly reset. And also give you some tips how you can approach your yearly reset without feeling tired or burned out, or I don't know, feeling like you're just trying too hard. So let's get started. I personally like to start my reset routine by having a nice workout. It's obviously not a must, but for me, it gives me this sense of achievement and it also feels really great in my body. And lately, I've been enjoying running. I feel like that's the type of activity I enjoy the most progress with. I mean, I've been going to the gym for a while and my PRs are also quite okay, but I noticed that I started stagnating after a while. So my deadlift PR, for example, is 75 kilos and I cannot advance any further. But with running, I can increase the distance I run with each and every run. So that definitely feels nice. But yeah, let's go. It's already a little bit later. I came from a run, I took a shower, and I had some lunch. So now I'm doing my skincare, my hair care. I actually do a little bit of skincare, but I feel like I need more moisturizer on my face. And now I want to explain why it is better to do your yearly reset in autumn. Okay, so it is actually hard to do skincare while looking at the camera. I will have to look in the mirror to see that what I'm doing is right. So here's the story. A couple of years ago, I took my summer vacation at the end of August, beginning of September. And the first week, I did absolutely nothing. I was just chilling because that's what I felt like doing. And then after a while, I started going on these brain dumping walks, as I call them. So what I normally do, I go out for a walk and I just talk to myself, and that's how I brain dump. I don't do that much journaling. I just go for walks and I talk to myself. I know it sounds crazy, but it has worked for me so far. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I started going on these walks and I noticed that whenever I would go out, I would just get a lot of insights, a lot of ideas, a lot of this generally creative impulse that I will later be able to turn into different ideas, different projects, into re-establishing and reinventing my own routine. And it was a very interesting experience because I didn't go out with a specific idea in mind, but whenever I was out in the nature or even just walking around the block, these ideas, these insights would hit me as if they were looking for me. It really felt like collecting a harvest, but instead of a tangible harvest of fruits and vegetables, it was just this mental harvest of ideas. So I got a much better understanding of who I am, what I want to be, or what I want to do, and I never asked for this. It just happened very spontaneously, seemingly out of nowhere. Since the timing was perfect for collecting actual harvest, it got me thinking if there is any correlation between, well, our psyche and natural yearly cycle in the northern hemisphere specifically. So I started looking into it. In the grand scheme of things, our departure from nature is quite a recent phenomenon. Until not so long time ago, our survival was dependent on the fact how well we are aligned with the nature. Of course, our survival doesn't depend on this alignment anymore, but you can still feel the influence of this yearly cycle on yourself. We naturally feel more tired in winter, even with all the supplements, the bright light, and the central heating. So while we don't really need it, I believe that the best way to thrive and get the most out of our life is to go with the flow of things and not against it. Hence, we want to reap the benefits of the harvesting season and do our yearly reset at the end of August, beginning of September. Here's how I approach my yearly reset. For the first couple of days, or sometimes even for a whole week, I focus on rest. I really don't see this tip to be shared often enough, and it's really crazy because, in my opinion, in order to actually reset and prepare for the upcoming year, you first have to make sure that you have stored enough energy and that you have enough of this creative impulse to propel you forward. When you press the reset button on your computer, what the system does is it first closes all the tabs, all the apps, and only then it resets. You have to approach your yearly reset in a very similar fashion. Without taking a step back and taking some time to pause and just exhale, you're risking to overwhelm all of your internal systems and trigger a burnout. We do not want that. So make sure that you dedicate enough time for rest. And it doesn't have to be anything extraordinary, just go with whatever feels natural to you. Sometimes what you need is going on a trip or meeting with your friends. And sometimes what you really crave is lying on the couch the whole day and reading books or watching a series. That's how I spent my past week. I spent all of my time just sleeping, eating, reading books, not doing anything productive or creative at all. But I really needed this time in order to be able to sit down in front of the camera today and share these tips with you. So focus on rest. The next step is to brain dump. For this step, use the way that works the best for you. For some people, it is journaling. For some people, it is walking and talking to themselves. For some people, it's talking to a friend, talking to a parent, talking to a partner. There are tons of methods, so make sure you're using the one that fits your unique style of thinking and expressing your ideas. Keep in mind that at this stage, you don't need to act on this creative impulse unless you really feel drawn to it. We just want to focus on channeling all of this creative energy in whichever way works for you and marking the insights or the ideas that caught your attention. Later on, you will be able to use these ideas to create a new version of your identity and subsequently make a plan for the upcoming year. Next, you want to organize these ideas in some sort of a system. You'll notice in the process that some ideas don't spark as much interest as they used to, and some ideas spark even more interest than when you first thought about them. Focus on the most compelling ideas. Write down all the steps you need to complete in order to get to the point you're dreaming of. Start visualizing the routine that will help you get there. At the same time, try not to get too attached to this routine. After all, a plan is a flexible system, and even if you need to adjust your ways along the way, it doesn't mean that you won't be able to achieve your goals. And finally, give yourself enough time to adjust. Going from 0 to 100 is the best way to jeopardize consistency and commitment to your goals. It takes time before you can take off and fly. So focus on easy things first. Focus on the things you are already familiar with and increase the difficulty level as you progress on your journey. Now I'm gonna take a small break, then I will do my journaling session and I will take you along and walk you through, I don't know, I'm not sure whether I'm gonna do some journaling prompts, but I'm gonna walk you through what I'm gonna be journaling about for sure. So I did a bit of journaling. I didn't do as much as I thought I would, but then at the same time, I already have all of the ideas are clear in my mind. So I really didn't have to spend much time on thinking about them and writing them down because I know what I want. And I'm not changing my goals for the next year, so they remain more or less the same. By the way, a pro tip, you can continue with the same goals. You don't have to change them each and every year. And in any case, when you are working on a big project, it might and probably will require you more than 1 year to actually complete each and every step and accomplish everything you want to accomplish with this sad project. Anyway, my goals are more or less the same. I'm only introducing a new social goal, so I want to focus more on building relationships with people, specifically friendships. I saw that there is anything wrong with my current friends, they're amazing, but I realized that even though I'm an introvert, it is still nice to have a slightly wider social circle than I have right now. My current social circle is like literally my family, a handful of friends, three maybe four, and my partner. That's very, very little, plus my colleagues. Long story short, I just want to get out of my comfort zone because meeting new people and putting time, putting effort into getting to know each other is definitely my weakness. So I want to work on that. I want to meet more new people and then I'll see how it goes. Sorry, I was rambling for so long that my camera died. Let me cut to the chase. So while my goals stay more or less the same, in the upcoming year, I want to focus more on supporting practices. For example, I wrote down for myself, I want to focus more on meditation, mindfulness work, because I know I'm prone to anxiousness, and being able to, or not being able, but doing this mindfulness work, focusing on the present moment, helped me quite a lot in the past, but last year I just didn't do anything like that. In all honesty, I haven't done any proper meditation or like mindset work quite in a while, so I want to focus on that. Then I want to introduce some affirmations, especially for the winter time. This I've been doing for quite some time already, 5 years or so, and I noticed that it really helps with these, I guess, gloomy thoughts or depressive mindset that you usually get when it's dark and cold outside. And winter here, I gotta say, I'm based in Finland, so winter here is pretty harsh both on your physical and mental health, so I want to be prepared. Then I want to start waking up earlier. So last year, or I mean, still this current year has been pretty overwhelming for me, and because of that I had to focus quite a lot on resting and recharging. Might sound ridiculous, but there were days when I had to sleep for 10, sometimes 11 hours just to feel refreshed. And while it is okay, and sometimes you just go through a lot of things and you need more sleep and more rest, it's totally fine. But I also know that I do not want to waste my entire life on sleep. That's one thing. And generally speaking, I just really like early mornings. I used to be a morning person. I used to wake up at 5:30, 6:30, depending on the season, and then I gave up on that, and now I want to get back to this routine because it genuinely makes me feel better, more productive, more accomplished. It makes me feel like I have more time in my life, which is one of the biggest points of my anxiety or anxiousness. So I'm really looking forward to that. Then I'm gonna be focusing on taking the right supplement. So it's nothing new. I'm taking vitamin D until the next spring, pretty much until next May, to be honest. And I'm gonna take a vitamin B12. I'm gonna take it for 30 days in September, and then I'm gonna take it again in 6 months. So that's been the cadence that has really worked for me. And of course, I'm gonna take magnesium as I approach my luteal phase and the end of the cycle, and I'm gonna take iron when I'm bleeding. That's just something that I do on a regular basis. A new support system that I want to introduce this winter is doing a bit of light therapy. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, we do have this light therapy lamp. I did use it 2 years ago and I noticed a difference in my mood and also in my physical health because after all, The amount of light we're exposed to in the morning affects our immune response, and our immune response consequently affects everything else. So yes, it did wonders for me, but last year, so like last or still this year's winter, I didn't really use it for many reasons. So this December, or actually November, because it's already pretty dark in November. So this November, I want to start purposefully using it for, well, light therapy purposes, to feel better. I hope it will work, and maybe I will even make another video and I'll let you know how it worked for me, even if it worked for me. And the last supporting system I'm introducing this upcoming year is, and I know it's gonna sound ridiculous right now, but I want to diversify my entertainment. Previously, my default entertainment of choice and my default way of relaxing was watching some series or movies, sometimes playing video games, but mostly watching series. But this March, I rediscovered reading for myself. So I've been reading, I'm not gonna say a lot of books, but I read quite a few. And in the past 6 months, I've read almost 12 books or something like that, so nearly 2 books per month. So I want to focus more on reading in the upcoming year, and not because it's great for your mental health or your cognitive skills, nothing like that. I want to read more simply because I enjoy it. I enjoy it, it brings me a lot of pleasure, and it's one of the best ways known to me to relax. That's why I want to read more books, and that's why I'm bringing the whole aspect of diversifying my entertainment. I'm still gonna watch my Korean dramas. I know I enjoy them, I love them, they're amazing, and I know that I'm still gonna play video games this next year actually. Next year they're releasing a new Civilization game. I'm really looking forward to that, but at the same time I feel like I need more variety in my life, or more specifically, I noticed that last year there were times when I would continue watching a series even when I didn't feel like it. So now I really want to pause in these moments and ask myself, what do I really want to do? And if it's a good book that I'm craving, then I'm gonna read. If I feel like painting, I'm gonna paint. If I feel like scrolling on social media, then that's what I'm gonna do. I really want to turn my days off around and stop doing things because I have to do them, and start doing things because I want to do them. And maybe, if I can be optimistic, I want to have more of the second approach in my day-to-day life too. But for now, I just really want to focus on having more of this I want to approach on my days off. So these are my plans and my goals for the upcoming year. As you can see, there is absolutely nothing crazy on this list. There's no, I want to win a Nobel Prize next year, or I want to hit a new PR at the gym next year. Nothing like that. There is something along those lines I really would like to do. I would like to run half a marathon next year, next spring specifically, and to be honest, I've been training for it. I've been running like, well, not like crazy, but I've maintained a consistent workout routine with running, and also I've been going to the gym and focusing on particular muscles that will help me run longer. Anyway, I've been doing my best to be able to achieve this goal next year, but I'm not putting it on this list because I don't know, I just don't feel like it. And in any case, if I don't, for some reason, if I don't achieve it next year, then I can achieve the year after the next one, then 2027, and you know, so on and so forth. Anyway, I was rambling. What I'm trying to say is that you don't have to put anything that sounds extraordinary on your list. It just has to feel like it to you. For me, an extraordinary accomplishment would be to be able to wake up earlier. My routines might look very simplistic to you, but to me they feel great. And I know that when I start acting like the person who completes all of these steps, I will feel great. And I think that's the whole point of a reset routine. You're focusing on the steps that will propel you forward, that will make you feel better than you felt last year. You know, an upward trajectory can be like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. All of them are upward trajectories. It doesn't matter whether you go from 0 to 100 or from 0 to 1. What matters is that you keep going forward. And when you're ready, when you feel like it, when you have a lot of this creative impulse, That's the washing machine if you can hear it. But anyway, when you have a lot of this creative energy to spare, then I think you can start piling up all the crazy stuff on your yearly plan. But if you're not ready, for whatever reason, focus on simple things first. And this is it. This is a slightly new format for me, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and as always, I wish you a happy day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.